What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Stefan, and tonight I'm talking and celebrating the 26th anniversary of one of the greatest selling, influential, and amazing rap classics ever made by one of the greatest and influential black revolutionaries that changed music and black people's life. Yes, it's Tupac. So sit back and enjoy yourself on this ride with me as I take you on another journey throughout the video. Please don't forget to like, share, and comment on the video. And also subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to turn on your notifications for new videos. And so before I get into All Eyez on Me, happy 26th anniversary to another rap classic from the Fugees, which is The Score. Super classic that contained the hits Killing Me Softly, Fuji La, and Ready or Not. Also achieved notable chart success and helped the group achieve worldwide recognition. One of the amazing rap classics of 96. Salute to them. So now time for Pac. Growing up in the 90s, Tupac was everything. Unapologetically black, thugged out, and a major figure of black conscious rap of the 90s. His confounding mixture of ladies' man, thug, revolutionary, and poet forever alternate our perceptions of what a rapper should look like, sound like, and act like. It's undeniable that he is one of the most copied, influential, beloved, greatest, and best-selling artists, multi-talented artists that changed music forever. Most of his music has been noted for addressing social issues that plague inner cities, and he is considered a symbol of black power against unfair racial justice. Despite the daily controversy that followed him throughout his career and after his death, he remains one of rap's beloved entertainers whose powerful voice and presence still relates to music and society, especially black America. All Eyez on Me made history as the first full-length album in hip-hop. It will also be the last album he released during his lifetime before his death on September 13th, 1996. While locked up in New York, Tupac made a deal with Death Row Records CEO Suge Knight to sign a 3-album deal in exchange for Knight paying Tupac $1.4 million bail. This double album gave him credit for 2 of the 3 albums. Unlike Tupac's past socially and politically charged albums, this album captured the rapper as apologetically thuggish as ever, with him celebrating life as a free man. He reportedly got to the studio and went straight to work within hours of arriving in Los Angeles after his release from prison in New York. The album debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200 and eventually achieved diamond status, representing sales over 10 million albums sold. This album was supported by the singles California Love with Dr. Dre, Two of America's Most Wanted with Snoop Dogg, How Do You Want It with Casey and JoJo, Life Goes On, I Ain't Mad at Ya, etc., etc. The songs on All Eyes on Me are, in general, unapologetic celebrations of living the thug lifestyle. Although there is an occasional reminiscence of past and present friends, it is a definite move away from the social and political consciousness of Tupacalypse Now and Strictly for My Niggas. The songs on the album, along with the name of the album itself, all included to the feeling of being watched. Before all Eyes on Me, Tupac was already a young, influential, multi-talented, controversial black superstar who was raising so much black consciousness in the black communities, giving us a voice and presence. With 2 albums under his name, with Tupacalypse Now and Strictly for My Niggas, plus an album with his group Thug Life, entitled Thug Life Volume 1, which included the classics Pour Out a Little Liquor, Cradle to the Grave, and Bury Me a G. Also, along with his film career, starring in the hood classics, including in the 1992 classic Juice, where he plays a militant and haunted individual named Roland Bishop. And then 1993, he starred alongside Janet Jackson in the John Singleton hood romance classic Poetic Justice, playing a young postal clerk and father named Lucky. In 1994, he played a local neighborhood thug named Birdie in Above the Rim. He was slated to star as Sharif in the 1993 Hughes Brothers film Menace to Society, but he was replaced after allegedly assaulting one of the film directors, Alan Hughes. In early 1994, he served 15 days in jail after being found guilty of the assault. The prosecution evidence included a Yo MTV's Rap interview where he boasts that he had beat up the director of Menace to Society. He wasn't a stranger to controversy either. In October of 1991, 1 month before Tupacalypse Now, 2 Oakland Police Department officers stopped and harassed him for jaywalking. The officers allegedly asked for his name. Since it didn't sound American, he answered them, and they brutalized and assaulted him, scratching his face all over the street. He filed a $10 million lawsuit against the Oakland Police Department, which he won. The case was settled for about $43,000. On October 31st, 1993, he was arrested in Atlanta for shooting 2 off-duty police officers, which in self-defense, and later the charges were dropped. But the most seriously case was the 1993 sexual assault case against him. To me, I believe that he was targeted and then do it. That's just my opinion. Years before the cases started to pile up, Tupac became friends with a young, unknown future superstar rap superstar in the making from Brooklyn named Biggie, which is my second all-time favorite lyricist ever. Pac definitely put Biggie on the map and gave him some major advice, hanging out whenever they was in New York and LA, even let him rock the mic whenever Pac performed. Their friendship came to an end on November 30th, 1994, when Tupac was ambushed and shot inside a lobby of a recording studio in Manhattan Times Square. They say the shooting looked like a setup and smells like a setup. Later, Tupac publicly blamed Biggie Smalls, who was upstairs in a recording session at the time, and helping to set up the attack. Biggie, Puff Daddy, and the rest of the Bad Boy camp denied numerous times their involvement in the shooting. Even Tupac mentioned the whole situation in his 1995 interview with Vibe magazine. The next day, he arrived in the Manhattan courthouse awaiting his sentencing, acquitted of all three counts of sodomy and the gun charges, but convicted on 2 counts of first degree of sexual abuse for forcibly touching the woman buttlocks, quote unquote. He was sentenced to 18 months to 4.5 years in prison by a judge who decried an act of brutal violence against a helpless woman. His lawyer characterized the sentence as out of line with the groping conviction and the setting of bail at $3 million as inhuman. He began his prison sentence on sexual abuse inside Clinton Correctional Facility on February 14, 1995. He also spent a few months recuperating at Rikers Island. While incarcerated, he released his third album, Me Against the World, on March 14, 1995, drawing lyrical inspiration from his impending prison sentence, troubles with the police, and probably the album described as Tupac's most introspective album and commonly ranks as among the greatest, most influential album. Me Against the World was made to show the hip-hop audience his respect for the art form. Lyrically, he intentionally tried to make the album more personal and reflected than his previous efforts. The musical production on the album was considered by several music critics to be the best of any of his albums up to that point in his career. Released while Tupac was in prison, Me Against the World made an immediately impact on the charts, debuting at number 1 on the Billboard 200, holding the top spot for 4 weeks straight, and top R&B hip hop album chart. Dear Mama was released as the album's first single in 1995 and would be the album's most successful single, topping the hot rap single chart, peaking at number 9 on Billboard's Hot 100, while Tupac was in prison. The album overtook Bruce Springsteen's Greatest Hits as the current best-selling album of the year in the United States. Me Against the World was eventually certified double platinum, and at the 38 Grammys Award, the album was nominated for Best Rap Album, and Dear Mama was nominated for Best Rap Solo Performance. The album will receive acclaimed reviews by critics, being ranked as among the best albums of the 1990s. It has been ranked as by many critics as one of the greatest hip hop albums, as well as one of the greatest albums of all time. It contained the classics So Many Tears, Dear Mama, and Temptations. While incarcerated, he also married his then girlfriend, Keisha Morris, in 1995, but the marriage was later annulled months later. Suge Knight visited him in prison twice until in October of 95 and posted $1.4 million bail. He returned to Los Angeles and joined Death Row with the appeal of his December 1994 conviction pending. This was part of an agreement between Suge and Pac, which stated he would make 3 albums under Death Row Records in return for them paying his bill. Fulfilling his brand new contract, this double album served as the first 2 albums of this 3 album contract. Selling his soul to the Death Row label, Tupac was soon set to work on his 4th studio album, a double LP which embraced Death Row gangster image while celebrating the West Coast party lifestyle. On February 13, 1996, he released his 4th album, All Eyez on Me, on Death Row Records. His second album to hit number 1 on both the top R&B and hip hop album charts and the pop charts 200, Billboard 200. It also sold 566,000 copies in its first week, and it was certified multi-platinum. It was rap's first double album, meeting 2 of the 3 albums due in his contract with Death Row, and boarded 5 hit singles: California Love, America's Most Wanted, I Ain't Mad at You, and How Do You Want It. The album showed him rapping about the gangster lifestyle, leaving behind his previous political messages. With standout production, the album has more party tracks and often a triumphant tone. This was the last album he recorded during his lifetime. During the last few months of his life, he released the greatest and most venomous diss track of all time with Hit 'Em Up. The pro-claimed Bad Boy Killer threatened violent payback on all things Bad Boy, Biggie, Puffy, Junior Mafia, The Company, and on any in New York rap scene like rap duo Mobb Deep. Unfortunately, we lost the world's greatest voice and poet on September 13th, 1996, after being in a coma and taking off a life support following the drive-by shooting on September 7th in Las Vegas, Nevada. At the time of his death, a fifth and final studio album was already finished, The 7-Day Theory, under the name Machiavelli. It also been recorded in 1 week in August of '96 and released that year. The lyrics were written and recorded in 3 days, and mixing took another 4 days. Was released on November 5th, 1996, almost 2 months after his death, and released through Death Row Records. It is his only album released under a new stage name, Machiavelli, and it's the last Tupac album released with his creative input. The album peaked at #1 on the Billboard 200, selling 664,000 copies in its first week, and certified multi-platinum, and one of the greatest rap classics ever. Even in his love life, Pac was known for being with a lot of women, but Kidada Jones, the daughter of world famous Grammy nominated winner Quincy Jones, happens to stay with Tupac and dating for quite some time now. It's still a long-standing rumor that they were engaged at the time of his death. Their relationship got off to a rocky start. The rapper criticized Quincy Jones in an interview with Source magazine, where he spoke of Quincy's interracial relationship and having mixed race children. Actually, that grossly undersells what happened. Pac, in his typical blunt fashion, was quoted as saying, all he does is stick his dick in white bitches and make fuck up kids. Kidada's sister Rashida slammed Pac in an article calling into question his moral compass and shaming the rapper for having lack of respect for someone as legendary as Quincy. Years later, Tupac apologized to both. Kidada was one of the last people to see him before he died. Following his tragic passing, 3 films were released. Bullet in 1996, and in 1997, the films Gridlock and Game Related was released. Among the 5 more albums that has been released included Are You Still Down, Remember Me in 1997, Still I Rise with the Outlaws in 99, Until the End of Time 2001, Better Days 2002, Loyal to the Game 2004, Pac Life in 2006. Tupac Shakur is the most influential rapper of all times, and even in death, he remains a transcendent rap figure. Rest in peace, Tupac. Tupac forever. I want to thank you for coming on this ride with me throughout the video. Please don't forget to like, share, and comment on the video. Subscribe to my channel. Also, don't forget to turn on your notification for new videos. Please stay safe and blessed. I'm out. Peace.